Welcome everybody to another edition of the Future Pro Tour. After a 25-year hiatus, Sacramento River will be the host of the 2012 Future Pro Tour Classic, November 3rd and 4th. We'll be going day one right here out of downtown Sacramento, where 90 of the best amateur teams in the West will compete for cash prizes and a brand new Ranger Boat Evinrude package. What makes this classic so unique is that most of the teams out here have never fished the Sacramento River, but it is host to 3 species of bass: spotted bass, smallmouth bass, and largemouth bass. Guys in the past, legends like Dave Glebe, Gary Dobbins, Dave Rush, D. Thomas, have all fished and caught tons of fish out here. We're gonna see how these guys can break it down in this Prefish show today. The second day will be on the Stockton Delta at California Delta proper, where 1,100 miles of waterways, sloughs, and levees can produce double-digit fish at any time of the day, morning or evening. Boy, it is going to be a classic to remember. What better way for us to find out who the best amateur team in the West is? Stay tuned as we have some pros out here showing you guys what to do and how to prepare these guys for the biggest classic of their lives, the Future Pro Tour Classic, right here on the Sacramento River and the California Delta. Stay tuned. Come on.
Win a brand new Dodge during the high voltage giveaway at Thunder Valley Casino Resort.
One angler we all know that has experienced a lot of success on the Sacramento River, in fact he won 3 classics in the West Coast Bass Days, is none other than Gary Dobbins. Let's hear what Gary has to say about the Sacramento River.
Hey, you Future Pro Classic guys, I just want to give you a couple of tips about fishing the Sacramento River. I actually got to win one of the early West Coast Classics launching out of Sac, but I did run down to the Delta to do it. But the fishing's a lot better nowadays. I mean, there's a lot of fish. I finished second in Snodgrass Slough, which is not very far really. You can just go down and hook through the lock. I've actually won 2 tournaments in Elk Slough, which is really close to where you guys are launching too. You got the Sacramento bypass. You've got Verona. That bypass is a sleeper. There's a lot of good fish in that bypass. Don't overlook it. If you want to run a jet boat, you can run up the feathers. Real shallow, but if you got a jet boat, you get up there no problem. There's a lot of good largemouth and small and even spotted bass in the river now up there. Fishing for the bigger blacks, I have to think about Verona. You got the Sacramento Slough. You got the bypass. You can run up and fish the bear or the feather. Elk Slough. I can't say enough about Elk Slough. It's a big slough that comes in. And like I said, I got to win 2 tournaments. Me and Bobby Barrick won a tournament in the early 90s. We ran all the way from Big Break all the way up there, and we did win. And there's a lot of good fishing down there. Don't think that you have to run to the California Delta to win, because you really don't. You guys have a good time and be safe. Hey, you guys are probably going to see some footage of some of those Sacramento River tournaments. Yeah, just remember that was 20-some years ago. Yeah, I was 70, 80, maybe 90 pounds lighter. But fishing was awesome. You know, hats were a lot different, a lot more facial hair, a lot skinnier face, but you know, it was just a great time in my life to be fishing the Sacramento River. You guys have a good time and don't make fun of me.
To get a better perspective on what Gary's talking about, we went out on the Sacramento River with Gary's son, Richard Dobbins, and he showed us some great techniques on how to get spotted bass on the Sacramento River.
We started off this morning in the backwater sloughs. We were flipping beavers and young money bugs and all the crawdad type creature baits. The fish up there live on crawdads. All the rice fields drain into the backwater, so there's just a constant, influx of crawdads being stuffed down in all the backwaters. So that's their main fort.
It's known as the striper and sturgeon river, but people overlook it so much it actually makes bass fishing great. These fish don't get to see very many baits very often.
That's true. One of the things it's going to do is even the playing field for a lot of our guys. Since 99.9% of the field have never even been on the river, it's going to make it even. There it is.
Get him in the boat. There you go.
Ooh. Bad. Not bad. Not bad. Oh.
The tides affect the river not as much as severe as they do down as like the conventional Delta. When you get down like further down south, you get around the lock and elk and all that, you still get a decent tide swing. We're up a little bit further up the river right now, and you don't really notice the tide swing. There still is a little bit. The current will slow down a little bit and speed up depending on the tide, but you don't get the big swings. It's not that big of a factor like it is down in the Delta. But like I say, if you get down there around Elk Slough and all those, the river will back up a little bit and fluctuate a little bit more.
All the way around, guys. Oh! Oh!
Catch a spotted bass and catch a largemouth.
Now what's that? That's a largemouth.
That's a
And you were flipping way back in the back, right?
Yeah. Just all these overhanging trees. The fishes get back up on the bank. As you can see, there's a lot of current. They're draining the rice fields right now. So they're, the fish are kind of up out of the channel as much and kind of tuck them back up underneath. It's all about just getting your bait back up in there.
Okay.
Or you can get it back there. The banks actually have a pretty good drop off most of them. When you see we've got a flat in front of us where it runs out a little bit more, but on the main channel wise, there's a good drop off. Just 3-foot shelf, and it flattens out. And they just sit right up there, in them root systems.
Fantastic.
That's what the river has to offer. There's such a good food supply and the diversity of all 3 different species of fish you can catch. But they're stocky, they're healthy. They live in current, they're strong. Just like catching fish out of the Delta. In the Sacramento River, this is what you can catch. See? Good 3-pound spotted bass.
Okay, and then we went out and we went down, didn't do that well up here because the water was a little bit dirty, but down in the southern areas, there's a lot of riprap to be cranked.
Yeah. We did a lot of cranking on the main river. It was slow today. The water's up right now. This is mid-September or so the water's still up. They're dropping the lakes and lots of water in the system right now. Come November, they won't be draining the lakes no more. The water will, recede down. The wing dams will be exposed. It'll be a major factor. The crankbait bite on the wing dams will be a major factor, and all the riprap up along from here to Elk Slough.
Slough.
There'll be lots of smallmouth.
Okay, and then we went up into some of the slow-moving water sloughs like Verona and started off with a buzz bait. They blew up on it, and then we slowed it down, and he started in on this frog, and that's when he really started getting them. Talk about that frog a little bit and these fish on the river.
The buzzbait bite is pretty good. Same thing with the backwaters. They eat a lot of the mice and stuff swimming across the sloughs. So the buzzbait bite is usually very, very good. Today they were kind of swirling on it, not really wanting to chase them much, so we slowed it down and started throwing the frog on the isolated mats and all the weed points and any kind of outside wood.
Oh, I lost him.
As you can see, it worked pretty well. We got a lot of bites. Landing didn't go so well. You got to get the bite first.
We're saving them for the anglers that are fishing the classic.
Yeah, they haven't seen a live well or a carpet of a boat.
Okay.
By no means.
Okay. Well, those are some tips for you all preparing for the 2012 Future Pro Tour Classic here with Richard Dobbins. We want to thank you for being with us, and good luck to all you that are going to be participating in the Future Pro Tour Classic.
That's how she's done, boys.
Hey, I got a tip for you guys fishing the Future Pro Tour Classic. Sharp hooks, that's your connection to the fish big time, line and the hooks. But when it comes to hooks, nothing beats a Gamakatsu. They're the sharpest hooks on the market. They're premium hooks. They cost a little bit more, but man, you don't want to lose that big fish in the Classic. The Superline EWG is probably one of the best flipping hooks ever made. Number 4 round bend trebles, number 2 trebles for you guys throwing the rattle baits down there, which I'm sure a lot of you are going to be fishing in the Delta. Round bend trebles, Superline EWGs, those will be 2 of your best hooks you can use in the Future Pro Classic.
That was some great information on the Sacramento River. More to come as we prepare for the Future Pro Tour Classic.
Evinrude E-Tech is the only outboard that gives you more of the experiences you want. Like more acceleration and top-end speed, more time on the water with no maintenance for 3 years or 300 hours, more chances to catch more fish, and more fun. The Evinrude E-Tech, it's more, and more than anything else on the water. Experience more with Evinrude.
I want to talk to you about the Biggie Series crankbait. I got it in 2 sizes. One is Papa, which is the one bait shown here, and I have a smaller version called Smalls. The square bill crankbait is definitely designed for fishing all different types of shallow cover. You know, it's got basically a square bill to it, and what it is it allows you to throw that crankbait over wood, and when it hits there and it bumps the wood, it'll roll over the wood and continue on its normal path. Also, when you're fishing grass, it'll allow you to get that bill into the grass, and you snap your rod, and what it'll do is it'll pop up some grass, and it'll actually trigger fish into striking. And fishing this thing around the grass, and fishing it around the wood, and fishing it around rocks. All these are great places to throw the Biggie Series crankbait so you can catch more fish.
Would you like to be part of the most exciting amateur bass fishing circuit in the West? Then call us at 916-768-0938 or visit us at our website at www.futureprotour.net.
Win a brand new Dodge during the high voltage giveaway at Thunder Valley Casino Resort.
Welcome back. There is no greater honor to a competitive angler than to be named the Angler of the Year, as it denotes your consistency and your ability to beat the best of the best through an entire 7-event tour. We caught up with Jim Markham and Paul Parks, our 2011 Anglers of the Year, as they prepared for the 2012 Future Pro Tour Classic.
Hey, I'm Paul Parks. I'm at River City Millwork where I work. But after work, there's other pursuits I like to do, and that's fishing. And I've been fishing the Future Pro now since its inception. I've been doing tournament angling for a little while, and Future Pro gives me the opportunity to fish against a lot of anglers. The competition is awesome.
At work, at home, on the weekends, all I think about is the Classic that's coming up. You know, Paul and I have won Anglers of the Year. We've won the Navionics Cup. We've been there, done there, bought the t-shirt, but we have not captured the Classic. That's what we're after. The reason why I like the Classic is if you look at any professional sports, unless a quarterback wins a Super Bowl, he's not a champion. Unless a team wins the World Series, they're not champions. We've won Anglers of the Year. We've won the Navionics Cup. We haven't won the final tournament, the Classic. This is our year. Once we win the Classic, we will be champions. 89 other teams, watch out, we're coming.
And next we have 4-time BASS Elite Series champion Ish Monroe, who's also part of the Cocoons Pro staff. He's going to go out on the California Delta with some great crankbait and spinnerbait techniques to help our guys prepare for the Future Pro Tour Classic.
Hi, I'm Ish Monroe. You know, I know the guys got the Future Pro Classic coming up, starting the first day on the Sacramento River out of Sacramento, and then the second day going out of Stockton on the Delta. You know, I got to get you guys prepared, you know, so I'm going to start out on a lot of the rip-rap walls that you're going to have around the Sacramento area. You know, if you do find some grass, you're definitely going to be able to flip, but most of the stuff we're going to be doing is showing the crankbait bite and the spinnerbait bite, because usually in the fall, the crankbait, the Biggie Series crankbait, and the Bling Series spinnerbait is going to catch a lot of fish for you. So let's go out and check this out. Start running around and you see a couple pilings, you got to fish those too. It's finding any cover that's completely different on this river. Yeah, there he is. Biggie Series crankbait. Oh, nice fish. So you guys, you get out there and, you know, got a little darker area, found a couple of pieces of wood that you got right here, pilings. You know, you just get on these rocks and you just start cranking down these rocks. and everything you catch on that Big E Series crankbait will be the deal. You know, cold-blooded, couldn't resist it. And then when you come to little points like this, current ripping around them, pick up that spinnerbait, pick up that crankbait if there's not a lot of grass around. Because I really like the I Know It color in this color of water, because it really looks like a shad, and you can even cross over with the blue in it for the bluegill. Got it. Oh, the missing, gosh. You know, one thing that you're gonna find out about fishing the Sacramento area is there's not gonna be a lot of structure in the water. So if you come up to a place where you see like a lay down log or some grass, you definitely wanna take the time to fish it, you know. The one thing is the water's also gonna be cleaner, so I definitely like to throw, you know, a shad pattern, preferably, you know, in the blink spinnerbait, the I Know It, or the